BZJ podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's still the BZJ podcast, and you're welcome. You're welcome. And I'm still basking in that happiness, feeling. It's 2025, and I'm still good. I'm still happy, and I know you're good, and I know you're happy regardless of your financial situation or status. You gotta be happy. You gotta be happy. And right here on the BZJ podcast, it's all about good vibes, positive energy, and also giving you all the, many gist and latest that's got to do with entertainment, arts, music, everything buzzing. And today, guys, we're going to be diving into the world of creative arts. When I was talking to my guests, by the way, my guests, the beautiful Abisola. Nice to have you.
Same here. Thank
you. For those of you who don't know Abisola is the curator right here in the beautiful, classy, elegant Iwaliwa Art Gallery. And how did you guys get to collect all these beautiful pieces that I can see right here?
Little drops of water makes a mighty ocean.
Yeah.
So it was from the little ones. Kudos to Femi Williams.
Yeah.
Who has been collecting way back from school.
Wow.
His father is an artist, so he's been collecting way back from when he was really a young guy. And alas, all of these collections.
Wow. Mr. Femi Williams, in case you don't know, is a name that is not strange or let's say new in the world of arts, in not just Nigeria, but all over the world, in Africa. He's a renowned artist. He's someone that I love so much. And you already know, but I really want to know, because what we're talking about today on the show is the future of arts in Nigeria, Africa, because there are not a lot, but a few Nigerian and African artists that are doing big things, most recently the guy Olaolu who designed the FA Cup in Dubai. These are artists that are doing very, very big things. So from your perspective as a curator, where do you see arts, in Africa in the future? Where do you see art? Before I let you talk, a big shout out to the likes of them, Davido, Whiskey, Burna Boy, Shay Vibes, who are doing very big in other areas of creative arts. But right here, we're talking about these artists. Like you made me understand that there are different pronunciations. Please tell us, let us know.
Okay, so when you put E at the end of artist, it becomes artist.
And that's
for the singers, the musicians.
Okay.
But when you take that E out, it now becomes an artist.
Okay.
Who paints, draws, sculpts, and all of that. But within the artist, we still have different specific professionals within the artist space who are called painters, sculptors, ceramists, textilists, and so many of them like that. Yeah.
Wow. So now back to the question of the show. What is the future for Nigeria or Africa in the world of arts?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think Nigerians have done so well with art and they're getting better every day. And like you said, shout out to the musicians who have taken music, African music or Nigerian music, from a very, very low level to a very high level. And so is the art as well, the painting, the sculptures, and all of those things, right? So I see a very, very beautiful future for our art industry. And I really think that they are doing great things within the African space. The artists are doing great things, and a lot of foreigners are beginning to penetrate into African art.
Yeah.
And because of the way we use our indigenous cultural styles to create our art, we're becoming a people that are appreciating our indigenous styles now, and which is really good. And that's where the that special craving is, you know. So, and because we're beginning to appreciate that now, people are beginning to look more into African art and are beginning to love and appreciate African art.
I mean, do you know why I'm smiling?
No.
Because look at what I'm wearing. This is African.
I guess.
And you also wearing African. And I never planned to rock.
I think I inspired you.
And I love that. So, I mean, continue.
So, I mean, with that, because people are beginning to get more indigenous, Nigerians are beginning to appreciate their culture, their heritage. A lot of Nigerians are beginning to go back home. They're beginning to understand their root. And with that, they're beginning to use that to create their art.
Yeah, but I mean, when you see art pieces like the Festac head, you know, a lot of religious Africans, like Christians, they feel these things are diabolic. You see the Oduduwa, you know, sculpture. People relate diabolism with some art.
Kind of art.
How do you explain that?
So I think I used to have that notion as well before. I mean, there's some arts that are really scary. They look very spooky, right? But you know, when you know the meaning of something, you begin to relate differently with it. So when you understand the meaning behind some certain things, if you go to the National Museum, for example, and you see those our indigenous arts, right? If you don't understand the history behind them, they look like they're diabolic. They look very spooky, you know, and they'll scare you off. But if you understand the meaning behind them, the reason why they did those works, you begin to relate better with it, and you're able to take off those notions, right? Even when you come into this space as well, if you saw this work and you're like, this work is really dark. Why is it dark? But if I stood here and explained the reason why this work is like this to you, you'll be able to you will come to terms with appreciating it, and rather than calling it dark, you would now give a different, because there is a different light on the work. You have a different perception.
Okay, now let me draw your attention to, I don't know if the camera guys can just focus on this art, for example, this art.
Yes.
How do you explain this art?
There are a lot of different symbols, right? And the symbols, I mean, symbols right from time have meanings.
Wow. Right?
So there are symbols that have meanings, such as, I mean, back in the days when a royalty wears an attire and there's certain symbols on it, and you don't know the person is a royalty. But when you see those symbols, you know that, oh, this person is a royalty. Oh, this person is a woman that has been casted out, or this person is a trader, or this person is this, or this person is a chief. You know, these are symbols. So these symbols is what artists have used to represent their art. Right? So this panel work might just be a juxtaposition of different symbols just to create beauty. However, symbols have certain meanings to them, right? So
what's the meaning behind this? Because to a layman, you might just be like, come on, man, it's beautiful to behold. But I see the symbols that are there, that are written, and I definitely know they have meanings. And you know, would you like to explain?
I'm not an expert with symbols.
Okay, yeah, of course, yes.
I mean, you can see the spiral. This one, especially this one, you can see there are a bit of spirals here and there. And spiral means continuity. Right? There's continuity of life, there's continuity of activities, action, you know. That's what I think spiral would mean. Ordinarily, our lines and shapes have certain meanings, right? For straight lines now, which we call vertical lines, means rigidity, stability.
You
know, so when you that's why houses are in in vertical lines.
Okay.
Right? So if you use a diagonal line means it can be flexible.
Okay.
Right? But something that is not stable. Right? Diagonal lines are not stable.
Okay.
They're here and there, you know. Vertical, horizontal lines, stability as well.
Okay.
Right? They are stable. You can relax on them.
Yeah.
So they have such kind of meanings.
Wow.
Right? So these people, I mean, back in the days when our forefathers used to communicate, they communicated basically with symbols.
Wow.
You know, they didn't know how to read and write, but they communicated with
symbols. Wow.
Symbols that they created by doing art, right? So when they put those symbols on art, they know that they're passing a message, they're sending a message to someone. For instance, if they took a calabash, right, and they put water inside, and the calabash would have different symbols on it. They'll send maybe their child or a servant to go and deliver it to someone, and when the person now sees it, you know that this means something.
Okay.
This is a message that the person is passing.
I mean, excuse me, but I'm getting lost in your world. How long did it take you to understand this whole thing, like this whole thing? How long did it take you? Was it something you took out time? I mean, just what I'm saying.
It's in our gradual study of the history of art.
Okay.
Right from school days up until you get into the field.
Wow.
And then you start coming in contact with different kinds of art and all. That's how you get to know them.
Yeah. So this brings me to my next question, right?
Yeah.
So there are people who make arts, who are the artists, and there are people who understand or curate this art, if I may know.
Put it like that.
Put it like that.
Okay, so there are people who make art, who are the artists, and there are people who translate the art.
Okay.
Right, so we have curators, we have art historians.
Okay, art historians, okay.
Yes. So the art historians basically within the art history field, we have different other people within there. So we have people called the art critics, people that actually study when an art was made. They can tell you the year it was made by going through certain processes. Right? So for instance, let's say one of our old artists. Let's say for example, Ben Nwo's art. For example, if somebody brought Ben Nwo's art, for example, and says that this is Ben Nwo's art, I want to sell it, the right thing to do is, especially if you're not sure as a buyer that this art is for Ben Nwo, you go to a specialist. Who understands how to read the times. Who understands how to read colors. Because the colors of that time is not the colors of now. The materials that were used back then is not the same kind of materials you use now. They're different. A lot of development has been made with colors. So there's a specialist that understands that time and has probably studied very vastly about that time, that period, the kind of materials, mediums that were available at that time, and can tell you that, okay, this is Ben Nwo's work. It was done so period of time, but it just happened that he didn't get to sign it. Or something, so we have, but an artist won't be able to do that because an artist is just specialized in maybe creating his own work or stuff like that. A curator, on the other hand, talks about art. A curator basically sells art. Right? They're out to sell art. And how would you sell art? It's by talking about the value of that art.
And you must also know the art that you're selling.
Yes. The curator has to know the art, has to know the artist.
Right?
So we also have people we call the art critics. I'm also an art critic. I critique art. I write about them. You can also speak about them, but I write more than speaking about them. So I can take an art, for example, and begin to critique it. Critiquing in the sense that I look at the formal elements, I look at the atmosphere of the artwork, I look at the theme of the artwork, and basically exposing what the art is about to a layman, to someone that doesn't even understand the art at all. And bringing out some truth from the art, or bringing out my own perspective of what I see about the art, and revealing it to the public.
So do you think
that's what an art critic does?
So do you think with the emergence of AI and technology, it's going to pose a threat to the art industry, like original creative artists?
I don't think so. What you take out from your soul can't be the same thing that an AI will take out from it. An AI doesn't have a soul.
Yeah.
What I bring from within myself is not the same thing that an AI will bring from
But lately,
within.
some of the work created by like this AI, they look more sophisticated and more detailed. It's just me talking, though.
Well, yeah. But the thing is, for an art collector who is vastly read, who is vastly experienced with art collection, would understand that AI, and no matter how detailed an AI is, it can't be on the same value with what a human has actually created.
Yes.
It can't.
Okay, before I let you go, or before we come to the end of the show, what is spectacular about, or what will art lovers or art collectors or people who want to buy art find when they get to Iwalewa Art Gallery?
They would find beautiful Nigerian artworks, original Nigerian artworks made by Nigerians, and at good prices. They would also find that they have good values, a resellable value. So, for instance, if you buy an art piece here rather than buy from the roadside, you have a value on that work, and it can be resold at any point in time. So, take for example, if you buy an art piece on the roadside for
Lekki Expressway
for maybe 70K, and you put it in your home, and you're moving out of your home, and you probably don't want to, or let's say you really need money, right? And you're moving out of your home, you're selling all your things. You probably might not be able to sell that art to someone else. But if you bought it out of a gallery space, you can take that artwork back to that gallery, and the gallery would buy that work from you, and you're able to have your money, right?
So art is also an investment.
Art has been from days of old an investment, right? We have the primary market, we have the secondary market where you can sell art, right? And it's an investment that people that understand it put their money into it.
Wow. So art is big business, serious business.
It is. Three floors.
This is no monkey business.
3 floors. It's a real business. It is. I mean, art is the beauty of life.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's
like
joy.
I mean, it's been fun. If we are going to talk about art, we're going to be here in the next 2 hours still dissecting, and I know Abisola is not ready to leave.
It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So guys, I love talking to you guys, but right now I'm going to see you on the next episode, and please don't forget to subscribe and follow us on our YouTube channel, and adios. Bye.